Good morning, ma'am. Now let's start with our discussion, which is all about Highland literature. Now, Highland literature in the Philippines primarily exists in oral tradition, encompassing epic poems, legends, songs, and other forms passed down through generations. While written form exists, they are less prominent than in other literary traditions. The literature reflects the unique experiences and cultural heritage of various highland tribes. Now I'm going to discuss the different highlanders that is living here in the Philippines. Now before we proceed to that, what do you mean by highlanders? So highlanders are also called as Igorot, which refers to a group of people that are living in a mountainous area, or these are also referred to as the mountain people. And today, I am going to introduce to you the Highlanders that is living in the Philippines. So first is we have the Ibanags. So the Ibanags or Ibanag. So Ibanag people, also sometimes spelled as Ibanag or Ibanak, are the indigenous group who primarily inhabit the Cagayan Valley region of the Philippines, particularly the provinces of Cagayan, Nueva Vizcaya, and Isabela. They are one of the largest ethno-linguistic groups in the Philippines, with a population of a little over half a million. Now, the Ibanags or Ibanigs who live in Cagayan have an impressive body of literature, predominated by superstitions. So, kabata sa superstitions and legends. So, their literature consists mostly of proverbs. So, proverbs sa ilaha is kitawag og ononi. Now, I'm going to give an example of proverbs sa mga Ibanag, which is awan ta umuni tauton ng ari umulok ta dawon, which means nobody goes up who does not comes down. And also, they have folk songs. So folk songs in Ibanags are also called as love songs. So most often with promises, assurances, and pledges. They also have ballads. Now, in general, their verses deals with courtship, emotions, and worldly objects like flowers, birds, trees, rivers, fish, and others. Now, ballads in particular were sung at feasts, during fiesta, moni ilahang kantahon, and weddings, during wedding ceremony. Now, frequently, they are hymned and executed in quatrains. Now, what do you mean by quatrains? So, kining quatrains is a stanza with 4 lines, especially one having alternate rhymes. Now, that is all about Ibanags. Now, let's proceed to the second Highlander, which is the Apayaws. So, the Apayaws who live adjacent to the Ibanags. No? So, Apayaws are also known as Isne. So, people there are called Isne. So, or Yapayaw. So, these are cultural group inhabiting the highlands of the Philippines, specifically in the northernmost part of Luzon. So, kini sila na sa northernmost part of Luzon, meaning nasa sila sa pinaka north nga parte sa Luzon. Specifically in the Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR. So, Apayaws live adjacent to the Ibanags. Now, what do you mean by adjacent? So, adjacent meaning they live close to Ibanags, near to Ibanag. So, they are murag neighbors o kita pa diri silingan ra ni sila. Now, just like Ibanags, they also have literature of their own. So, naripod sila ilahan itong lahi nga literature. Now, they have both verse and prose. So, na sila verse and prose dito sa ilaha. Now, poetry is found in songs and lullabies. Ang poetry is mostly found in songs and lullabies, and prose is represented by stories about the Anitos, giants, men, animals, stars, place origins, headhunting, and others. Kini sa Apayos, there are only two major folktales. First, we have Abyosan, which is the Apayao epic, and second is the Dongkuan and Domaria, which is the longest narrative romance, but it is unwritten. So, wala siya documentation anang nakuan. And that is all about Apayos. Let's proceed to the third one, which is the Kalingas. Now, Kalingas, very little is known of the literature of the Kalingas. A warlike tribe. A warlike tribe din siya, no? So, deeply entrenched in the Cordillera and Caraballo Mountains. So, nani siya dapit sa Caraballo and Cordillera Mountains. So, kini Kalingas is nagyapon nila sa northern part of Luzon. Because of their geographic isolation, mula na siya na geographic isolation, was na isolate from the civilization. And because of this, their literature has not yet been fully studied. And because of that, ilang literature dito is wala kaayo na studihan. Now, their economy is based on agriculture. Based on agriculture dito sa ilaha, including rice cultivation. They also do pottery. So, based on my research, I did some research kay dito sa libro, mura man ang information about Kalingas. They also have folktales. Nasa sila folktales dito sa ilaha, songs, and epics that reflect on their culture, beliefs, and values. So the theme sa ilang literature dito is mostly about culture and values, religion and daily life, and social order. And that is all about the Kalingas. Now let's proceed to the fourth one, which is the Tingguans. So Tingguans who live principally in Abra and Amburayao. So kini mga Tingguans are, or also known as Itneg, live in northwestern part of Luzon. So, nagkaman sa north part sa Luzon, pero dapat sa west. Nasa tunga-tunga sa north o sa west. So, nasa sa northwestern part of Luzon. And they are known as the peaceful Highlanders. So, because of this trait, they were able to leave to posterity some poetry and prose. So they are known as peaceful Highlanders. And because of this, when we say posterity, mo na ma-preserve from, ma-preserve siya para sa sunod na generation. And because of this, ang ilahang poetry and prose, ilang literature dito is na-preserve para sa sunod nga generation. Now, ang ilaha dito is mostly epic, myths, folktales, and onggayam. So, onggayam is a type of traditional oral poetry or chant performed by chosen elders that serves as vital cultural and religious function. Now, ang kining onggayam is mostly performed by elders. So, mga elders ang perform ani. So it is just like, it is like a prayer na ilang buhaton, no? And that is all about Tingguans. Let's proceed to the Ilongots. Now the Ilongots who live atop the Caraballo Mountains have poetry and prose. Kini sa Ilongots, they reside in Serra Madre and Caraballo Mountains. So they are also known as hospitable nga tribe and peace-loving ni sila dito. So they have poetry and prose. So sa prose, they have this origin myth na naggapuan may Ilongot, which in English is how we became Ilongot. Sorry. Knowledge of the Ilongot literature is mainly due to the painstaking work of Lawrence Lee Wilson. Now, sa Ilongots, there is no specific mention of traditional Ilongot written poetry or prose, but their oral traditions were rich and served societal functions. Now, sa Ilongots is, they are primarily vocal. So, primarily oral ilaha itong literature. So wala kayo written nga mga documents. Now because of Mr. Lawrence Lee Wilson, which is an anthropologist from Omaha, Nebraska. So kini sa USA ni siya nga lugar. Because of him, he published his work in 1947, which is Ilonggot Life and Legends. Nakahibaw ta about sa literature sa Ilongot. Now, their verses are largely made up of songs and lullabies. Okay, now let's proceed to the last one, which is the Bagubos. Now later on, we will be going to introduce to you the different works of these different Highlanders. Okay, now let's proceed to the last one, which is the Bagubos, who live near Mount Apo, also have a body of literature. Now, kining Bagubos is unlike aning mga na-mention na nga mga Highlanders. Bagubos are from southern Mindanao, Davao Gulf, and Mount Apo. Now, lalo sila sa Mindanao, dapit. Wala sila sa Luzon. Now, kining group nga tribe is divided into 3 main subgroups, which is the Tagabawa, Klata, Goingan, and Ubo. Now, though parehas sila nga Bagubos, each of them has a distinct dialect, dances, and color preferences. Now, kini ang ilang po diri ilang literature dito are largely made up of poetry and prose associated with their superstitious life and beliefs. So, mostly sa ilang dito is literature is about sa ilang mga superstitious, kaya mga tuo-tuo nila, mga belief. So, their culture was influenced by their sacred connection to Mount Apo, or also known as the Apo Sandawa. So, ilaha dito is napod sila epics, myth, legends, proverbs, and riddles. So, that is all about Bagubos. Okay, now let's proceed to the works of the different Highlanders. Now let's start first with the Ibanag. So Ibanag, they have this love song of a girl. Now, I will read. Wait for me, there where you cut trees, and let's go gather oranges. We will eat them on the grass where our houses are. You have been in the forest and you didn't get any bean shooter. You didn't buy for me. So, in this Ibanag, the love song speaks from the perspective of a girl, no? Inviting her loved one to leave his work of cutting trees to join her in gathering oranges. Now, the oranges will be eaten on the grass near their home or their house, creating a peaceful shared experience. So the concluding lines express a gentle longing as she notes his return from the forest without a simple gift or token from her. You didn't buy for me. Ang buy. So, ang theme ani nga, So, ang theme ani is about longing and anticipation, which the girl's request for her loved one to wait for her and join her in gathering oranges indicates a longing for his presence. So, ingon niya nga, let's go and gather oranges. So, ang laki is nag-cut na siya trees, niya ba, gusto siya nga, maguha sila, mag-gather sila ang mga orange, alam nila sa ilahang sa grass near sa ilang balay. Now, moto nga longing and anticipation ang sa iyang team, it's because ang bae is naglong bitaw sa presence sa iyang uyab and anticipation of shared time together. Moto. together. Next is we have simple pleasures and togetherness. So, pag invite pa lang sa bae, sa iyang uyab nga, manguha sila og oranges, then, and ilahan ni silang kanon sa grass near sa ilahang balay, nagkuha siya og katang simplicity, kanang like finding joy in the simple activities and the importance of togetherness in a relationship. Now, we have also affection and thoughtfulness. So the concluding lines reveal the girl's gentle expectation of a token or gift from her loved one's trip to the forest. So, tanang, though, nakalandali ka is, you didn't buy for me, so wala sige, gipalitan. So, you have, yeah. And that is all about the love song of a girl from the Ibanag tribe. Okay, now let's proceed to the next, which is the ritual from Bagubo. So, whoever took my rice, curse him with bulging eyes. Make his body swell. After that, let him die. O, diba? Very hadlok kayo ang ilaha dito nga kuan. So, ang kiniday nga Bagubo ritual is documented by Laura W. Benedict. So it is a curse intended to inflict suffering and death upon someone who has stolen rice. No, dito ta manguhag rice sa ilaha kay na adlok kaayo. Now, the curse invokes physical elements, which is bulging eyes. So curse him with bulging eyes. So bulging mo na tagmo budlat na usa mo ra mo bulging eyes make his body swell. So, muswell, murag bang hupong. Gana. And, after that, let him die. So, rabi tawag, ginahinay siya torture sa katong thief nga nanguha sa ilahang rice. Nga nabitaw. So, ultimately, the curse aims for the death of the rice thief, suggesting the seriousness of the crime within the Bagubo community's value system. So, ang team ani is incantation or curse, charm, supernatural, magic, and mythology. So, and that is all about the ritual of Bagubo. Now, I'm going to show a picture of the Ibanag tribe para mas ma-visualize nato ang kung unsa ning Ibanag nga tribe. So, this is what the Ibanag tribe looks like. To the next Highland tribe, which is the Apayao or Isneg. So this is what they look like. Sa TV na nato tanawon, but then kanang may trouble sa mo to. Para magkita ako yung picture. Next, we have the Kalingas. So this is what the Kalingas look like. Next, we have the Tingyans. Next, we have the Ilongots. And the last tribe, which is the Bagubos. And that would be all